No one in this world can you trust. Not men, not women, not beasts. This you can trust.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Glory of Golden State Gaming. I'm your host, SwampsSwimmer, and with me as always, the Faramir to my Boromir, Vespasian.
As usual, a lot to unpack there. Hi, everybody. How you doing?
So good, so good. So hey, a little announcement. I was just told this by Vespasian himself merely moments ago. You have a little announcement to tell us, please. Tell us.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of an exciting one for the channel from a content perspective, because I made it onto the US ETC team, which means that I'll be going to Amsterdam. Yeah. Thank you.
I am very proud of you. Congratulations. That's awesome. I'm going to be your #1 cheerleader. And I think you're right. Your battle reports will be against really high quality opponents, not only at ETC, but in the lead up too, in your practice games. I don't know how much you have the ability to post your practice games on a YouTube channel, but there'll be some high quality battle reports, which is awesome. And so I'm stoked for you. And it's Amsterdam. Have fun.
Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to it. I think we got a great group of guys. Should be a lot of fun, and yeah, will be. I think something to definitely get excited about. I know myself, I was always super keen on Mass CDs or Shy Hammers, kind of like lead up and everything, hype train for their ETC event. So looking forward to being able to kind of try to do that myself. So yeah, exciting stuff.
Is there any team I could maybe make it on and come with you? I don't know. We'll have to think about that. Some team who is scraping the bottom of the barrel for a player.
Teams often need mercs, like not scraping, but like they need the 8th person to be able to field a team. I mean, if that's something you're into, I think lots of people have had success doing that in years past from the US, I think. So
we'll see. If anyone's watching, knows of an ETC team and needs another player, let me know. I'm interested. I'm not sure I'm going to say yes, but I'd love to know about it. But let's move in to the battle report. It is Masters weekend, and I am here Friday morning before Masters. I'm playing in the Desperado to try to play it in. The top 2 players get into Masters from Desperado. That is my goal. It's exciting. Overall had a great weekend, but we'll see if I make it into Masters. In round 1, I get paired into Adam. I think he's from the Detroit, Michigan area, or just the Michigan area. I don't know. He's super cool though. I actually had dinner with him Saturday night. We had a great game. Adam was super cool, and he's running Undying Dynasties. It is a refused flank breakthrough game. But let's talk about my list. That not only this is the list that I'm doing the Desperado with, it's also the list that is for the whole weekend. If you're interested, click the link right above my head. It'll take you to our list review video where we go over all the lists and mine. I guess I'll just make it brief. It's 4 beefy combat blocks and 4 pieces of chaff. That's my whole army. It's nothing too exciting.
Yeah, I bet you wish you had one little ambushing unit for breakthrough.
That is true. But let's look at Adam's list. So this is the double arc list. Master on Divination, Master on Evocation. He's got the Pharaoh on foot. He's got the Casket, so just unlimited magic. A Chariot block with Stalker standard, pretty standard there. A block of Skeletons, 2 blocks of Necro Guard, 2 blocks of 3 Scarab Swarms, and 3 Great Vultures. But the piece that makes this list most interesting is that this is a Lord of the Barrow Legion list. I think this is the first time I've ever seen a Lord of the Barrow Legion list at a tournament.
That's the the one where they're like res 5?
No. This is the one where they can get better armor. They all have heavy armor now instead of light armor.
Oh.
Yeah.
God, I don't think I've ever seen anybody take that. That's great. Awesome.
And that's the kind of the small perk. The really big perk is these Scarab Swarms become basically ethereal. They have 3-up Aegis against regular attacks and a 5-up Aegis against magical attacks.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's really the big boost to the Barrel Legion list is the Scarab Swarms. I'm not too worried because I've got 2 characters with magical weapons, but it's interesting. I'm mainly more worried about the magic. The magic just seems brutal. So let's talk about deployment here. As I said, it's refuse flank, so diagonal deployment. I believe I dropped everything to go first because it's beasters. That's what they do. I have my big wild horn block with my evocation adept in there. Behind them, a gargoyles. Then I have my minnow block with my warlord in the center. I've got 2 dog chaff pieces in front and one of them in front of the other wild horn block with my shamanism wizard. And then on the far right, I have the other minnow block with my BSB with gargoyles behind them. This is kind of the standard setup I went with throughout the whole tournament. I did kind of switch if I want the BSB on the sides versus on the flank rather than the Lord. I'm sorry, the Lord on the flank instead of the BSB on the flank. I kind of switched with those characters, but this is kind of the main setup I did. And he has got the vultures on the far left here, a Necroguard unit, his skeleton block with his Lord in it. In front of that is one of the Scarab Swarms, then his chariots, then the other Necroguard block on the right with Scarab Swarms in front of them. In the back rank, he's got the whatever it's called, casket. Then both arcs next to that, just sitting there shooting stuff. And you're right, the ambush would have helped here also. Yeah. So let's just get into it. I of course I dropped. This is after Vanguards. I Vanguard my dogs up, big deal. But after I just push forward because I want that first turn. I want to get a round of magic, get closer to him before he gets that first round of magic. I throw the dogs up here to chaff the chariots. Basically, the way I put it is basically the chariot can't make the wheel and then go into the minotaurs here, and then everything else is kind of just a long charge for him, so I'm not too worried because he deployed pretty far back.
The Scarab Swarms fly, right?
No, they don't fly. I think they're 5'10" Swift stride. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
You really got that Minotaur block way out there.
Yeah, I really like the idea of it being a zoning / flanking force, one of my minnow blocks. And it really has a lot of, independency, autonomy, because it's fearless, it's gonna blow through stuff, it's got a magic weapon in it, it's got a reroll because of the BSB. That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think this is actually my top of my turn too. So in his turn 1, he throws his vultures to chaff my minnows in the center. He throws his scarabs in the bottom right here to chaff my minotaurs. He kills the one piece of chaff I put up in front here, and then I think he charges a long charge into my second unit dogs. I decide just to flee him out of the way. I think that was right. So, and his magic doesn't do anything. I think it kills one Wildhorn. I get kind of lucky in the magic phase.
Looks like he took off a couple of gargoyles.
Oh, that's what he did. He threw all of his offensive magic into this gargoyle unit, and he ended up only doing 3 wounds, and I passed my leadership check, my panic check. It was pretty lucky. So then in my turn, I chaff up the chariots with what's left of the gargoyles. I take the charge of these Minotaurs into the Scarab Swarms, because I've got the magical weapon on a beefy Minnow Chieftain. And to the overrun here for the Minotaurs into his Necro Guard is 5. I gotta roll 5 on the dice. So I'm feeling pretty confident. He gave me this overrun. I think he admitted himself he pushed this this Necro block too far forward. And I just take
he's gonna get a magic phase before that fight happens.
And really, all I care about, because his offensive magic boosts are, reroll to hit, reroll to wound, are offensive. The only one I worry about is giving himself agility, which is know thine enemy. So as long as I swing before him, which I'll do if I make the overrun into him and I stop know thy enemy, stop one spell, then I'm fine. I'll blow through that unit. Because it's Minotaurs. It's Minotaurs. That was my thought process.
Okay.
I take the chaff in the center also. And then in his turn, or after the combat, I fail my overrun. I roll a 4 on the dice.
Okay.
And then he charges me in his turn, bottom of 2. And this is the result. I actually outrun him, which is awesome.
Oh, so his unit's alive.
Yes. Both.
Sorry, I thought that was like he killed 5 Minotaurs, but you wiped the unit. Okay.
No. He kills that many Minotaurs, and then the Minotaurs that are left do that much damage. So the lucky part is I do outrun him, so they survive. Because
do you remember? This just caused me a funny thought. Do you remember in 8th edition how BSB ran, he died automatically?
Yeah. Well, it was all banners. It was all banners. When they flee, they blew up instantaneously. That was brutal.
I'm so glad that we're not playing that game anymore. Okay. Let's continue.
So this is top of 3. I rally my Minotaur block here. Maybe I didn't. I don't remember. I don't know if I rallied or not. I don't think I did, actually. I have to throw the Gargoyle Chaff in front of the Chariots because I don't want them to blow up the Minotaurs. And this is basically I continue to push forward. So in his turn, he charges the Minotaurs again. They run through the house, so they're actually safe now, which is awesome. Yeah,
they're minimized.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So they're decimated. Got it.
He redirects into my chaff here. And I realized at this point he's starting to roll my flank. So I realized we're on his half of the board, so I really decided to take it easy as far as pushing, and at least on my left flank, because I have both of these 2 units in his deployment zone basically at this point, or I could move them easily to be in his deployment zone. Yeah, he blows up the chaff. I decided to take the charge in with the wild horns here. I thought I was gonna blow them up.
Where are your mages?
Both of the mages are in the blocks, the big blocks of wild horns.
1 and 1. Okay.
Yeah. I thought I was gonna blow him up, and then I could turn to face his chariots, and then take 1 round of combat with the chariots, and then counter. That was my thought process. Guess what? That didn't happen.
He's handing out that Undying Will.
Yeah.
Which makes them defensive 5.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
He does has Ancestral Aid up on this unit, which is reroll to hit, but that's okay. I'm swinging before him. I think the key against these Necro blocks is swinging before him. And let's see what happens. I already forgot. Yep, I don't break him. I do a bunch of damage, but I don't do enough to crumble him. Not even close, actually. And I had Blooded Horn Totem up. So I had a bunch of attacks at Strength 4, AP 3.
Did you like fail your primal or what? I mean, I feel like you should have gone.
No. Yeah, I should have. I just rolled. I flubbed. The upside.
They're halberd Necroguard.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we end up sticking there, and he brings the chariots into my flank, which is just bad news for this unit here. The upside is the BSB and the Minotaurs rallied. So that was pretty awesome for me. Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Again, on the left, my left flank, I'm just kind of sitting there, not doing anything. I don't want to go into the necro because I need, in order to beat either of those blocks with my units, I need to either charge them or have all my buffs up. And then of course he breaks me, but I outrun him again. And I end up rallying this unit behind the terrain piece here. So I'm just like preserving points.
Go back one picture. Oh. Sorry, ignore me. I was like, I guess this is after your movement in the following turn.
Yeah.
Right? The next. Okay,
yeah,
okay,
I actually should be over here, and then I rallied, and the next turn I shuffled over. So we might not have been actually perfectly straight. Whatever. I don't know.
No, because what I was thinking was that he should have had them run from the guard.
Oh.
Based on this picture, not this one, but the next one, it looks like he would have gone straight into the flank of the monobus with the chariots. But anyways, no biggie.
Yeah, that's a good point. That is. Oh no, he turns around his center, so he would have just ended up in the middle over here somewhere.
I thought on the next picture, I thought you were up where you were in the next picture, and then it looked like he would have gone into you. But anyways, not it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
You know what I mean? Like if you're up there.
Yeah. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I know he considered that because I remember him giving him the choice of which way to run. And it took him a minute to figure out which way he wanted to go. He wouldn't have been able to overrun in the Minotaurs.
Got it. Yeah.
So this is getting down to the last turns. I don't remember what turn this is exactly. So I throw my chaff in front of his blocks. I make sure my Minotaurs are here in his deployment zone. Also, the BSB and what's left of his unit is running into his deployment zone. And at this point, I'm just holding fast. Because
those are not Legion chariots, right? So they're not scoring.
No, they are Legion chariots. That's why I moved my BSB block farther up here so I can get 3 units in his deployment zone, and he could get 2, the chariots and the Necro Guard. Yeah. So in his turn, he turns to just turn to face me. He says, "Screw trying to get secondary. He's gonna just bring it in."
Okay.
Well, I already proved to him that he's not gonna get it because I'm gonna get 3 scoring units in his deployment zone. Yeah. So he just says, "Screw it." And I believe this is bottom of 5.
He couldn't have. I mean, Casket, Div, and Evo. He couldn't have taken off that. Like you got like 3 wounds left on that Minotaur block.
Yeah, right? I know. He was I think besides the first turn, he was really concentrating on combat buffs. That's what he was doing.
Yeah.
So besides the first turn, which he got unlucky, he wasn't doing that much magic damage.
Yeah.
So he turns the face like this. He decides not to take the chaff in the center because a charge from the minnows definitely has a chance of blowing up either one of those bricks. So he just didn't want to take the chance.
Yeah.
And in my top of 6, all I do is make sure those 3 units are in his deployment zone, and I chaff his chariot block with my Minnow Warlord, which I never thought I'd do because he could take that charge and maybe win combat.
How the mighty have fallen.
And that ends the game. It ends right there. He doesn't take the charge. In the last bottom of 6, he just tries throwing some magic at me. Nothing really happens. It ends up he beats me on points, but I get secondary, and it turns into a 12 for me.
Wow. Okay.
turns into 12 for me. So I think first looking at this game, I'm upset with a 12 because this is a 3-game tournament that I need to get top 2 in. I was hoping for more points out of this game, and it really, besides his unlucky magic phase in turn 1, he had pretty average dice, and besides my overrun here with the Minotaurs in turn 2, I think it was, if I would roll 5 on 2 dice, it would have been a different game. I would have gone into him, I would have blown him up, and then this unit would have rolled his flank. So it was disappointing I didn't get that overrun, but hey, it's a dice game, it happens. End up with a 12, so I feel like I still need to push pretty hard to make it into Masters.
Yep. But like you said, I mean, this is a tough list. I think those blocks with the healing and the combat buffs are very scary. So yeah, I think it's not a terrible outcome, and at least it's still possible, right? Like if you'd had a loss, I think you'd just kind of have to give up at that point, right? So
yeah, exactly. If I took a bad loss round 1, I would just have to throw in the towel right there, which would have been sad. But with a 12, I have a chance. Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, yeah. No, big shout out to Adam. It was the first time I've met Adam before. He was a super cool guy. I really enjoyed playing him and hanging out with him. So cheers to you, Adam.
Awesome.
But we'll see you next time. Please like and subscribe, and take it easy.
Take care, everybody.